evening, gang. All right, good evening and welcome to a little Wednesday YouTube and TikTok live. It's Wednesday the 22nd of March 2022. We managed to get the camera working this morning, tonight on the TikTok as well, so that's good news there. All right, darling. Yes, very good evening to you. By the way, we've just had Mother's Day. Did you do anything for Mother's Day? What did you do for your mums for Mother's Day? Or if you are a mother, what did you get? Did you get anything nice? I know my niece and my sister got loads of nice stuff, and my nephew's wife as well got bits and pieces from the children. I always think one of the best things to get is something homemade from a child. You know, I really like that. Like cards. I've got the latest card I've got is here, which I showed you a few weeks ago, which was actually from my great nephew George, because he thinks I'm lonely. They all think I'm really lonely. And he made this, and it says to Chris, "Happy Valentine's Day. Hope you have the best day." And that's love from great nephew George. Isn't that a lovely thing to do? He's 10. He is. Bless his. Is he 10 or 9? No, I think he's 10. Evie 10. He's 10. Emily's 10. Emily's 8. Harry's 8. Ooh, James is 5. And Frank is 1. Yeah, I got them all right. If only we know our own ages that well. Isn't it, really? And talking of ages, as you know, I went past 60 in February, on February the 5th, right? And one of the things I found I was entitled to was a 10% off card, which I shall now retrieve from my special drawer of things. One moment, please. Where is it? Here we are. I have an over 60s club, right, card from, it's got a little label on it there for some reason. I can see a little barcode on there. I don't know if that means anything. From Oak Tree Garden Centre. And not only is it, you can only do it on a certain day, which is Wednesday. And guess what day today is? Hello. You know, and I wanted to make some hanging baskets. Couple of not massive things. I was actually going to buy them ready-made, which is always cheating, but sometimes in these garden centres they have some lovely hanging baskets already made up, and I looked, and like the cheapest one was 26 quid, and it wasn't massive, and I understand the work that's gone into it rather than you having to do it yourself or anything like that. So I looked at those and I thought, 20, and I want two. That's 40, that's £52. £52 for 2 hanging baskets, you see. And I thought, that's a lot of money to be hanging in just outside the front door, basically for about 6 or 8 weeks before the summer stuff comes in. So I decided to have a look around, and in the end, I knew I had some spare baskets myself. So in the end, I bought a bag of earth, and I bought 6 Primula, different colours, 2 yellow ones, a white one, a blue one, and a red one. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's another one. And a pink one. So I bought some of those and a big bag of earth. And I also bought some feed as well. I thought I'd buy some feed while I'm in there as well. I also was going to buy some weed killer. Because up at the Luxury Waterside Media Centre, I do suffer quite badly there with weeds all around the caravan. And I've got this magic wand thing, right? And you pour stuff in it and mix it with water, give it a good shake, and then you pump this thing and it ejaculates out all over wherever you're pointing your magic stick. You see, the ejaculation is everywhere. And all that, killing all the weeds off and all that. And it works very well. And last time I remember ordering the stuff off Amazon. And I thought, I've tripped up on this before. As I've mentioned to you so many times before, always check prices, right? Always check prices, because it's not necessarily cheapest on Amazon. That's true, right? So I put in my basket this weed killer thing, slightly different to the one I got. It's just one big bottle, rather than the one I got before was like little sachet type things, and you tear, like mini plastic bottles, and you tear the top off, and you pour it in a thing and put in, I don't know, 2 litres of water or something like that, and mix it up like that. Now this is one big bottle, this thing, and it was honestly, it was £22. I thought, blimey, that's expensive now. Anyway, so I put it in the trolley, and while I was walking around looking for the hanging baskets and things, I thought I'd just check this up on the Amazon. So I fired up Amazon, and the same thing was on there, £14, including free delivery. You know, so I quickly put that one back on the shelf for the sake of saving £6 or £7. And it dear. And I noticed that stuff in that garden centre is a lot dearer than it was. For example, they had 3 bags of earth. Now, you used to be able to get 3 bags, I think, for £12, and that's like now £18 for 3 bags or something like that. So in the end, I just got 1. But here's the thing with that. Always check, right? Hang on, I've got the receipt here somewhere. Here it is. Always check your receipt and what's going on. I don't know about you. I should have had 10% off with this, right? Don't know about you, but I kind of try and add things up in my head as I'm going around a store these days, right? Now, it's not accurate to within a penny, but you've got an idea. And I've added these things up in my head, right? So there were 6 Premulas, which were £10 for 3. They were like, I don't know, £2.90, £3.99 each, or £10 for 3. So I had 6 of those, £20. I had a bag of earth, £6.99. Okay, so £26.99, and I had the feeding thing, the improved pour and feed for £11.99. Okay, so that's what, £16.99, £26.99, £27.99, about £28, isn't it? Something like that, was it? Was it £28? Hang on a minute. £11.99, 12, 22, 32. I beg your pardon, 32, 33, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 4. So I went at about £38, £39. Okay? And so she's tapping away on this thing. She said, that's £42.16 or whatever it was, please. I said, well, I don't think that's right. Oh, well, she said, that's what it says on the screen. I said, well, add them up there. I said, that's 2, isn't it? That's 10, so that's £10. That's £20 there. £6.99, so that's £26.99. Plus, what was it? Plus £11.99, 26, 36, 37.99. She said, yeah, that's right. But that's what it says on here. Do you want to come and have a look? I said, no, not really. I said, this is incorrect. This isn't right. She said, well, I think I've put your plus 6. Well, so you can't have put the 10% off. I said, well, for example, you know, these 2 plants are £10. Well, that would be £9 if you take it off to... not on the special offers. Right, OK, well, fair enough. So we'll ignore that one. But still, I said, it doesn't come to £42. Add them up in your head, and it comes to about £37. So she starts tapping away. She said, oh, hang on a minute. She said, I've accidentally, instead of doing 10% here, I've done something else there. She pushed another couple of buttons, and then it come to £37.06. It just shows you, doesn't it? Just shows you, you've got to check, because other people would have just hummed and hawed. And I'll be honest with you, there were times when I've been at a till before, you know, and you've got an idea in your head, and then the till price comes to something else, and then they start rabbiting away, these people on the till, don't they? You know, and you think to yourself, oh, I must have made a mistake, and I've done it myself, and then paid and walked out. But I was sure, because I only had like 4 items. Well, you know, six. I only had 8 items. 6 of those, which were 3 for £10, you see. So I had a really good idea in my head to how much things were costing. So there you go. Always check. Have you ever tripped up on that? Of course, once you've left the shop, you know, days pass, then you go back. It's too late then. Too late then. You know, I remember the old signs at the post office. Please check your change, as mistake cannot be rectified till afterwards. You ever tripped up on anything like that at all? Anyway, that's one of the things the over 60s get, you see. Eh? We're all getting all this stuff now. And actually, as you know, I always put a little menu up on the YouTube thing that is advertising this show today. And Vera's picked up on the menu already here. And she says, what do you get over 60s? That's what I put basically in the menu today. And Vera's already emailed in here. And she says, the only things I get are free prescriptions, as and when I go to the doctors, which I get now. I've had 3 so far. Happy days. Happy days. Saving almost £30. Yeah, £30. That's not bad though, is it? That's not bad for someone who's paid into the system and worked since he was 18 years old, 18, 28, 38, 48, 58, 58, 59, 60. So it's 42 years I've worked so far. Thank you very much. And I haven't stopped yet. Still working, still paying into the system. You know, there are people out there who get loads of money, and have never lifted a finger in their damn lives. Aren't there? Yes. Anyway, so yeah, let's have something back. So £30 I've saved so far this year. She says she also gets the London 60 Plus Oyster card, free to travel on buses and trains, but she had to pay £20 to get it. Well, that ain't bad though. Is that £20 for the year, Vera? Or is that like a one-off payment of £20 as a matter of interest? She said it's not a freedom pass. I don't know what that is, a freedom pass. I'll get that when I'm 66. She's also found out that when I retire, my state pension might or could be taxed because I have my old company pension, which I took early, and also Sainsbury's pension, which doesn't really amount to much. I will have to think about whether or not it will be worth it for me to carry on working. The tax... Now, we've had this conversation, Vera. We've had this conversation. The tax man will probably be waiting to press that collect button at the other end. Of course. Of course. She says, don't worry. I'll have plenty to fill in my day. There will be no idleness here. I'm glad to hear it, Vera. Not for you. Sitting on that bleeding armchair, playing computer games or making models and things like that. You'll do something with your life of great importance. But I still don't, because we had this conversation about 2 years ago, I remember, Vera, and you were very concerned you were getting 2 lots of pension, that you were going to go into the higher tax bracket. Darling, you are not going to go into the higher tax bracket. Do not worry, okay? Obviously, the more money that comes in, a little bit more tax you're going to have to pay. But you don't lose money through work unless, of course, you're a benefits person, my darling. Unless you're not a benefits person and you can only work so many hours. But it'll affect my benefits. I can't work. Oh, I can't work. It'll affect my benefits. Unless you're one of those people, which you're not. So it's not going to worry you. Funnily enough, I had exactly the same conversation about an hour or so ago with someone on the phone. And they were concerned because they'd just gone over the next tax bracket. Now, I have to tell you, Vera, like I said before, I'm nowhere near that next tax. Nowhere near it. So if I'm not, believe me, you won't be, okay? I mean, you know, if you wanted to, you could contact someone in the tax office and talk about it. They'll help you if you can find the right phone number. But honestly, I don't think you've got anything to worry about at all with that tax, my love. Anyway, so this particular person on the phone was concerned they were now earning money, which has taken them into the next tax bracket. So they were convinced that they weren't going to get as much money now as they were getting. Because it's a common misperception, right, that when you're earning whatever money... Now, I don't know the levels of tax, so I'm going to make some numbers up, but you'll get the general idea of it, all right? So, if you earn £10,000 at a rate of 5%, well, first of all, everyone is entitled to a certain amount of money before you are taxed. I think it's around about 12, 13, 14,000 pounds. So everyone gets that first £12,000 tax-free, right? After that, you go into the first tax bracket, which most people, including myself, are on. Okay? You go into that first tax bracket. Say, so you've got your £12,000 tax-free. Let's say the next amount of money you're allowed to earn in the next tax bracket is £50,000. I don't know the exact figures. It's irrelevant, really, right? So, between 12, if that was your free, between 12 and 50,000, you will be paying that level of tax. Let's say 10%. Okay, just to figure out the air, you will be paying 10% between 12,000 and 50,000. Okay? Now, The moment you go over the next level, into the next level at 50,000, you're going to pay more tax on that. Let's just say 20%. But, and this is the misconception, you do not pay 20% on all of that 51,000. Once you've gone over 50,000, right, you don't then pay 20% over all of that 50,000. You only pay 20% on anything going over it. So, if you were earning suddenly £51,000, this is how I understand it, you still get your £12,000 for nothing. You pay 10% on your money up to 50,000, and anything over 50,000, 51,000, 20% will be paid on that £1,000 above it. Because if it worked in the way that most people seem to think it does work, and you're immediately taxed on the whole lot, £20,000, well, why would anyone do why would anyone ever do any more work? You wouldn't do it because it wouldn't worth your while. You don't actually go down. If you go into that next tax bracket, your money doesn't drop at all. It just means that little bit over the £50,000 or whatever the figure is, that's the bit that gets taxed more. Okay, so say that could be, for example, 50,000 to 80,000, you get taxed at 20%, and then maybe you're very, very lucky and you go over 80,000, and maybe after 80,000 it's 30%. But again, right, you'll only be taxed to 30% over the 80,000. Get it? All right, you've got nothing to worry about. I'm telling you, Vera, you're nowhere near these levels. Most people in here aren't near these levels at all. All right, darling. So I hope that answers your little question there, my darling. All right. Right. Let's say hello to some people this evening. Where should we start first? Texting. Good evening to Shania. Good evening, Shania. You right, darling? Evening, Shania. The beautiful Shania still. Shania. I don't know how to tell you this. Bless me, Father, but I have sinned. The Lent thing since I've been not well. Yeah, I lost a bit of weight. And my doctor, I got a specialist doctor in London. I rang him, I told him I was ill, and then I came round to the subject. He said, what do you weigh at the moment? I said, well, I've dropped about 4 or 5 pounds now. I said, but I am a bit fat. He said, right. Before you carry on with that, he said, this is not the time to start worrying about losing weight. You need to put back on a little bit of what you've lost there. So, bless me, Father, but I have sinned. I have 4 cooperative jam donuts, of which there are only 3 in the bag now. Sorry about that, Shania. But I've still not had any cakes. No cakes have passed my lips. I had to tell you that, Shania. I thought as soon as Shania comes up, I'm going to have to tell her because I feel so guilty. Yeah, one of those things. Thank you, Shania. Good evening to Maureen in London. Evening to Luke Bickers. Evening, Luke. Who says, I got my mum afternoon tea in a box. It included sandwiches. You good boy, Luke. What did you do for your mums? I'll come to your messages right now, okay? He says, if you want to have a look at the afternoon tea, it's on the Kettle and Crumb website. Thank you very much, Luke. We've actually got an afternoon tea, me and my mate soon, in, when is that? That's in April, actually. It's only in a few weeks' time at Fortnum and Mason's. Yeah, I've done that one twice. My niece bought me afternoon tea for tea at Fortnum and Mason's for my birthday this year. So that's all booked, and we're very much looking forward to doing that. Talking of my niece, she broke down today, bless her. You know, in the wilds of Scotland up there in Lossiemouth, she broke down. I had to wait 2 hours for an AA bloke. For a woman? Please. I thought it was supposed to rush a little bit faster for women. You know, but clearly not. Anyway, bless her heart, she broke down today. She hit, guess what? A pothole. It's all on the news at the moment, potholes, isn't it, eh? She hit a pothole, bang went the tyre. Dear me. I don't know, perhaps she should be opening her eyes a little bit more widely while she's driving along, perhaps. Poor thing. Good evening to Gary Ross. Evening to you, Gary. All right there. Let's say hello to some of you on the TikTok as well. Here we go. Evening to DJ Sparky. There's our Vera. There's our beautiful LaBelle. Evening, LaBelle in New York. I note, LaBelle, that Barry Manilow is performing at Radio City Music Hall in May and June. I think he's doing a whole week there. Radio City Music Hall. Now, there's somewhere I'd love to visit. Radio City Music Hall. What's it? End of May, beginning of June. Ooh, I wonder. Trouble is, it's so expensive to fly anywhere now, isn't it? They've put a new tax on the planes coming out of the UK now. I don't know how much it is. That's gone up again, but there we are. Windy and wet in Cornwall tonight. Yes, it's quite windy here, actually. Has been this afternoon. We got gusts of 40 mile an hour at the moment. 40 mile an hour gusts. LaBelle says we haven't had Mother's Day yet. That happens for us in May. Oh, does it? Oh, that's much later then, isn't it? May, of course, the month of Our Lady. Yes. And LaBelle says, happy belated Mother's Day to all. Isn't that kind? Good evening to Paul and Lou. Hello to you. May the 12th is Mother's Day in the USA. Those of you that are interested there, okay. Sainsbury's have a garden sale on at the moment. Thank you, Vera. Actually, I was up there the other day. I didn't notice it. There were some plants and that out the front. I prefer to buy plants from garden centres. I think they're looked after a lot better in there. It's my favourite garden centre is Oak Tree. They've got a very wide selection of very well looked after plants, I have to say, in there. I love to wander around in there. Of course, it's full of old people today because it's 10% day today, you see. 10% off today for the 60 pluses. Huh? God damn, they were loading their cars up. Let's just scroll down. Hello to Jacko. 125. What's £125,000? Oh, is that the next rate of income tax? Is it £125,000? Is it? I didn't know that, Jacko. Why is that scary? I didn't even know that. Why is that a scary thing? I told you I didn't know the correct prices. Why is it scary that you don't know something? You know, one of the worst things people do is pretend to know something about something. I'd never do that. If I don't know something, I'll tell. There's nothing worse than seeing some idiot on the internet who's insistent that they know everything and they've got all these qualifications. Oh, well, I've got a certificate in lighting, so I know it should be a red light on. One of those sort of people, you know. And actually, they know sweet FA about anything most of the time, I think you find. Thank you, Paula, who said that is correct. Yeah, I thought it was. I had a feeling it was. Vera's not, she's really not up on the tax. And I did tell her once about that. Thank you, darling. Okay, she gets it now. Good. Excellent, Vera. You want to know anything about that, Vera? Do ask me. Remember, I've been self-employed for like 30-odd years, so I do know quite a lot about that. And even if you've got a question I can't answer, I could always send it off to my accountant if you wanted me to. He's always very helpful. He should be for the money I pay him, dear. Jesus Christ, I think I sent him to Barbados last year. Not that he was quite happy with the Isle of Wight. All right, darling. Good evening to Fran Green joining us there. Welcome, Lou, to Fran Green. Vera says the mash that they made potatoes at school could fill in potholes. Well, maybe at your school. I've got to be honest, we had wonderful school dinners, which we've talked about a few times on the show, actually. We had such good school dinners. I'd very, very happily go back to school and have school dinners there. I really would. All right. Paul and Lou, more donuts, I know. Has someone sent me a gift on there? I see a diamond there. Someone sent me a diamond, have they? Or is it a donut they've sent me? Well, no, there it is. It's, oh, Christ, what is that? I don't know what that is, Vera. It looks like a TikTok sign, is it? A TikTok sign or something like that. By the way, apologies to you on TikTok. I'm looking a little bit green on there for some reason. I don't know why that is. The colour's gone a little bit wrong on the TikTok camera. Hello to Mr. Chairman. Good evening, Mr. Chairman. And Dan Woodhouse, I think that might be the same person. Are you the chairman tonight, Dan? Are you in charge of us all? You know, don't start issuing, whippings that you know whose job that is. That's Mandy Davenport. She's in charge of the pain and suffering today. If you have a problem, just inform Mandy and she will deal with it for you. Okay, my darlings? All right? And remember, Mandy doesn't understand the word stop. either, which I must admit I was chuckling about in the swimming pool earlier today. Yeah, I went back swimming today. I mean, I did go Sunday or didn't complete my tasks, and I thought I'll give it a go today, do the swimming. And I usually do 60 lengths. I thought, well, I'll do 40. I ended up doing 70. So I'm really pleased about that. My God, there's this bloke in there. He is so slow. Why don't he piss off on the other side where all the kids are playing? Oh, well, I say kids, there aren't any in there at the moment. They're all at school. He is so slow. It's unbelievable. And the thing is, when you catch up with him, right, you would think being that slow, he would stop and let you go. No, he turns around and carries on again. He's very, very annoying. Very annoying, that bloke. Anyway, there we are. Good evening to the lovely Dino. Evening, Dino. Quite pleased with myself for doing 60 lengths today. And I was going to go swimming tomorrow. I might try gym again tomorrow. Because believe me, I'm not out of breath in any way, shape or form when I'm swimming. Not at all. Not walking up there, walking back. I even managed, when I got back here, I had my dinner. And then I went out to the garden centre to get my 60 plus card. 10% off. When the woman on the till knows what she's doing. Oh, dear me. Good evening to the lovely Rob Kearshaw. Good evening, Rob. John Paris is there. Good evening, John. I hope Sherry's all right. Long time since I saw Sherry on here. Hello to you as well there. Evening to Mick Davenport. There we are. DJ George Bond in the house tonight. Evening, George. Sean Riches, 2022 or 2023? It's 2023, I think you're fine, my darling. Okay, 2023. Rob, I drove to Leeds to see my mum on Mother's Day. Good on you, Rob. I've come to learn that mums just love seeing you on Mother's Day. Gifts are just materialistic. You're absolutely right. I think we talked about this on last night's show, right? It's like when you're in hospital, okay? When you're in hospital, you do not wish, although it's very kind of people, to send you stuff. Chocolates, fruit, flowers, sweets, a latest copy of Hot Boy. You know, it's very kind of people to send, but actually they're not bothered by gifts. They want to see a face. They want to see a face. It's so important when someone's in hospital that they want to see a face. You need to turn up there. And I think it's the same with Mother's Day and Father's Day and stuff like that. People want to see you. They're not bothered about a gift at all. You know. And Rob says, I got my mum a bottle of rosé wine and a £60 one for all voucher, which is very kind of you, Rob. But actually, she would have been just as happy to just see you. I'm convinced of that. You know, it's like, you know, my nephew, remember Jimmy? He turned up here. He'd started driving and he drove all the way down from Lincolnshire and turned up at my here in the studio when he was 17. So that's 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 24. I think it's about 8 years ago now. He literally turned up here. He got my spare keys from my mate's house. And I was sitting here one Saturday morning. You may remember those. I'm sure Shania will remember this. I was sitting here doing a show and I had the door go and I thought, oh, that must be Ronnie. Anyway, and I'm sitting here chatting away and then the door opened and my bleeding nephew was standing there. What are you doing here? I've come to see you. It's just wonderful to have visitors. Visitors is what you want. You know, visitors is what you want. We discovered last night that Dan Woodhouse even has a table set just in case a visitor comes round, a young lady. Yeah, he has a table set just in case he pulls. And that table is kept clean and tidy, and it's been set now for 2 or 3 years. You know, waiting for a lady to turn up for a free meal. I don't know if he would cook it himself. Presumably it will be better than the picture of something that he sent me yesterday. I'm sure it will be. May I recommend, Dan, that if that happens, perhaps you get a takeout in. Might be better. She might be more impressed with a takeout. You know, not a cheap, not McDonald's, dear. No, they all do takeouts now, don't they? They all do takeouts. Although I don't buy any. I don't buy takeouts very rarely. The voucher can be spent on anything. Yeah, I've heard about those 1 for all vouchers. Thank you, Rob, there. Gary Ross says he says hello a few times, but his message is not appearing in the attack box. Well, that one is. I don't know why that is, mate. That one is. The luxury waterside media centre doesn't have its own six-packed muscle man that's topless. Sadly not. Actually, I wouldn't go for something like that. No, I like the skanky lads in tracksuits, around about 35, 38 sort of age. People like Mark Bowles, who's not with us this evening, unfortunately. Skanky. I don't go for those, what do they look like, these blokes? Oh, there's a couple of them in the gym. And honestly, they make so much noise when they're lifting something. And his great big airy arms with bulging muscles does nothing for me at all. Bit like watching some of those, like Big Daddy on the wrestling. Do you remember him? Shirley, whatever. Wasn't his real name was Shirley. Great entertainment. Doesn't mean I don't like him. Right? Not my cup of tea. We want to see someone a little bit more skanky. I've just spat on my own microphone. Just, someone who looks like he's just robbed house or something like that. Or done a deal around the corner. Thank you, Vera. Yes, Top Boy is a drama series. I've seen it. That's the sort of man we're looking for. Top Boy, okay? Oh, dear me. We're amusing Rob this evening. I'm glad about that. Dino says, I hate it when you buy something and it asks on a self-service till if you want to round it off to the nearest pound for charity. Where's that then? Really? Really? I was horrified. Actually, my blooming niece did this. Now, what was it? I think it was something to do in Paris. Something to do with the Disney in Paris or something. And she ticked the box. It said, do you wish to pay £1 for charity? I was paying. She ticked the box. She ticked the box. The only box I want to tick there is the age. And I'm on the last one. 60 plus. Tick. Oh dear, there we are. Rob how was Loose Women today? I don't know. Do you think I watched that crap? All the old bags cackling about what's the latest thing they've done with their boyfriend. Awful programme. Dreadful programme. Bring back the Galloping Gourmet. That's what I say. Crown Court. Bring back Crown Court. Ba 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 ba. Followed by the 1 o'clock news on BBC One. Yeah, that one. Crown Court, Galloping Gourmet, proper entertainment. Loose Women were that awful. Who's the one with the teeth? And I work with the voice running. I suddenly leaving that again there when I don't. And they all start rowing. That one from the Nolans. Her with the teeth. The other old bag who's in constant depression. She has her own TikTok channel where she comes up and starts crying her bleeding eyes out. People, why are you watching this crap? Why? When there's things on Netflix. Oh, I'm just coming towards the end of a film, actually. Good Nurse, I think it's called. Anyone watch that? Don't tell me. I haven't seen it all yet. Very, very good. Good Nurse on Netflix. And one I watched last night on Netflix, actually, was No Kibo or No Sibo. Nocebo. Right? Which is about this lady from, I think she's from Philippines, and she's got like these special powers because something is living inside her, right? And then she goes to see this other woman who basically is a designer, and she farms out her designs to like sweatshops and things like that. It's very, very good. Very, very good again. So that's one for you to watch, Vera. Nocebo. Nocebo on the Netflix. All right, darling? How is Loose Women? How would I know? I don't watch it. Awful. Come back, Dame Edna Everage. All is forgiven, dear. That's her, Janet Street Porter. Oh, the voice. How can anyone sit there listening to that voice? She was in charge of children's programmes at one point, weren't she? Is she responsible for taking Tom and Jerry off? Thomas! I'm not allowed to have that anymore. Thomas! Dan Woodhouse says his mum's a loose woman because she's fallen to bit. If your mum's anything like a loose woman, I don't want to know her, mate. Awful. Evening to the lovely Sharon Stoned. Very glamorous picture you put up yesterday. Hello, darling. All right, my love. There we are, some figures there. £12,500 is the money you're allowed to earn on before you pay tax on it. And Mick's got his private pension early, and he pays tax on that. So he's obviously over the years. What did you do, by the way, Mick? What was your job? He's obviously earned over the years and put his money into private pension, you know, for all those years, and now it pays off. I love these people who say, oh, you can afford this, you can... I've worked 42 years, mate. What do you think? What did you do? Oh, I didn't really want to work, you know. I found an excuse not to work. Oh, fine. I swear people believe their own lies. They convince themselves that they can't work. You know, Mick's worked all his life. Look, been paying in. Now he can have something back again. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just saw another figure there. Someone shoved up another figure there somewhere. Let me just see. Higher rate of tax is 50,000, is it? Okay. I don't think I'm anywhere near that, to be honest. What did I pay tax last year? It wasn't an awful amount. Believe it or not, my DJ business doesn't make any money at all anymore. Not really. Would you like to know? I don't mind telling you. It was a bit different in the 90s and the 2000s. I was on a lot of money then. Not anymore, though. I'll tell you what. My profit so far this year... Okay, this is since last April, because I run April to March, right? My profit, after I've paid everything out on my DJing, is just over £3,000. You see? Surprising, isn't it, eh? There's a lot you spend out to do this job. I say DJ, it's karaoke now. You know, things break down. Computer breaks down, bang, £500 for a new one, which itself is tax deductible. My profit last year was £3,000. So far, it's not going to be much. It's going to be about £3,300 for the entire year. Most of my money comes through rent now. But it wasn't always like that. You've got to put the work in early on. And as time goes on, everyone wants an instant fix. Oh, we want to be a millionaire overnight. Ain't going to happen. I mean, I'd love to be a millionaire. I'm nowhere near a millionaire either. Thank you very much, those of you sending in a couple of figures there. Good evening to the lovely Janice Pope. Evening, Janice. You're always there, aren't you, darling? Hello, my love. Oh, there's the lovely Dean Stifler Spears. Are you in a hot tub somewhere looking at me? You filthy person. What are you doing in that hot tub, you and John? Honestly, dear. And is there a video? If so, I'll give you 10 quid for it. Who's on the top deck? That's what I'm trying to work out for the last few times I've seen the pair of you. Hello, Dean, all right? Mr. Chairman says it's come to my attention that our host has sinned. He ate all the jammy donuts and has put on weight. I've had word with the committee and they've clubbed together to get him a sander. Yes, it's not very good. Not very good at all, is it? Jaffa Sponge. Dino likes Jaffa Sponge. I'm going to have one of those donuts later. I've already had 2 lots of beans on crumpets tonight. And then after they've been finished, then that's it. I'll stop again because I think I've put the weight back on now. I've got about 13 stone 3 now. So that's all right. There's Mandy there, standing by as always. You're right, Mandy, darling. Good evening to the lovely Glenda in the US of A. Evening, Glenda. Hello, my love. It's always a pleasure seeing your little name come up there. All right. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Pie and mash and Sharon Stones is anyone's. Pie and mash. Not with that green stuff on it, though. Me and my mate, we had pie and mash just before we went to see the ballet. Was it in January? I think it was in January. Was it in January? Yeah, when we went to see Swan Lake at the ballet, we found a pie and mash shop just round from the... where was it now? Oh, you know, oh, God, I can't remember what it's called now. Colosseum. Just round the corner from the Colosseum, we found a pie and mash shop. It wasn't too bad. I think both of us, we had a pie and mash and a pudding, and it comes to, I think, about £38 or something like that. It's not too bad for central London, to be honest. Thank you. Shirley Temple. Oh, dear. Oh, that noise, that screaming, dear. Giant haystacks, that's another one. Yeah, it's not my cup of tea, really. Daniel says he's got a six-pack. Mine's Foster's. I don't think there's any six-pack under there at all, Daniel, to be honest. No six-pack under there at all. Hey, Dino. Tesco round up to the nearest pounds. McDonald's do it too. Do they really? Oh, that's outrageous. Presumably you can stop that happening by pushing a button or something like that. What an outrage. Isn't it? Oh, dear. I mean, presumably Tesco's would be sending that money to the charity people, would they? I suppose. I don't know. Bring back Jeremy Kyle. Well, he's better than them old bags, isn't he? Oh, honestly, I can't bear it, Dean. I can't bear them. Like, occasionally, so they've had the crew come into the pub a few times, haven't they? Not the one I'm at now, the one in Clapham. The crew used to come in there quite a lot until Keith George upset them all. I can't remember what it was. He upset them all and they never came back after that. The ITV crew for that crap show, Loose Women. Awful. And don't say to me, but you haven't watched it. Yes, I blooming have. I've dipped in and out of that. Can't bear crap like telly on that level. Gino's watching reruns of The Bad Girls. Well, that ain't too bad, is it, eh? Of course I remember the Galloping Gourmet, Daniel. Yeah, you can find him on YouTube, actually. There's some people who have put up bits and pieces off YouTube of the Galloping Gourmet. But the quality is very, very low. It's very pixelated. It's not easy to watch at all. Good evening to Rebel Bert joining us today. All right, to Rebel Bert, welcome along to you. He says Janet Street Porter uses her teeth for the pastries on the pies. She nibbles round the edge to seal it all together. She's just awful. She is. How anyone can sit there watching her, I don't know. But she's made a lot of money. When I say she's awful, don't mean she's not good at it. It's just not my cup of tea. It's like Ryland Clark. He's not my cup of tea. Any way, shape or form. Although I will say he came out in the paper yesterday and he was slating these people who were buying the Eurovision or who had bought Eurovision tickets and were now trying to sell them on for like £12,000. I mean, you've got to be a mug to pay. I don't care if you've got £10 million in the bank. You know, I like to look at something and see value for money. And £12,500 to go to the Eurovision Song Contest is not value for money, my love. The same as, £15 for bleeding hot dog at the Odeon Cinema is not value for money either, is it, eh? Good evening to the lovely Eloise. Oh, look at how funny you should turn up there when we're just talking about Barry, because he's doing Radio City Hall, isn't he? At the end of May and June. Might have a look at that. Might have a look. Are you going, Eloise? I can't remember. One of our friends was on there earlier saying that it didn't match up with her times, and she would have gone, but I think she's doing something else at the time. Was it Diana? Oh, I can't remember who it was now. Was it Diana? Someone? I can't remember now. Sharon reckons, don't press the button to donate when you're in these supermarkets. Don't do it. Don't do it, my love. Dino watches Petri Hoskins on Talk TV. Excellent. Excellent, Dino. And of course, one of my favourites on Talk TV is Julia Hartley-Brewer. She don't take no crap. I was watching her the other morning. I can't remember who she was talking to, but she weren't having none of it. I love her. I love her. These are proper presenters, You won't see them two, Petri Hoskins or Julia Hartley-Brewer, suddenly burst into tears because they've got depression. Dear me, do us a favour, girls. Don't go on the telly. Simple as that. There are professionals like Petri Hoskins, like Julia Hartley-Brewer, like Angela Rippon, like Anne Diamond, like Isabel on Talk Radio or GB News. Moira Stewart, professional people. Who's the one with the funny fringe on BBC? I can't remember her name now. You won't see them crying on the I'm split up with my boyfriend. Who wants to see that? Well, the answer is quite a few thousand people because they clearly have got the viewers to keep the programme going. It's just not for me. Not for me. Really isn't. Rob says, I didn't know you were a lover of chavs and scallies, Chris. You must visit Manchester. It's full of them. Oh, yes. I regularly get out of the car on the way home in sort of areas like Hackney and Brixton and Lewisham in the hope that a chav is going to suddenly jump me round in a dark alley. But I walk up and down these dark alleys for hours. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Funny, isn't it, really? Anyway, there we are. Yeah, Dino likes her as well. I thought you would do. Evening to Jason, joining us very late tonight. Hello to Peter the Plumber. Evening, Peter the Plumber. Welcome along to the show. Welcome to the show, darling. Couple of texts coming in there. Darren. All right, Darren. Lovely Darren Askew. Very good looking. Babyface Darren is there. And he says 70 length in one day is good. Good going, Chris. Thank you very much, Darren. Just to tell you, it is not a full length council type swimming pool. It's a hotel swimming pool. I don't know how many. I don't know how long it is actually. I'll try and find out. I can't remember how long the pool is there at the gym. What would it be? 20 meters maybe? 20? Does that sound? How big is a normal size swimming pool? And I would say it's about 2/3 the length of a normal size swimming pool, I suppose, something like that. All right, Darren. Do you go swimming at all? Perhaps you'd like to turn up with me to a swimming pool somewhere in little tight shorts. We could go swimming together, couldn't we? Eh? You know, I promise not to look, honestly. Well, maybe a little bit. Luke says, you find these people that know it all. Oh, I can't bear them. I can't bear them. I'm expert on everything. I tell you what, you get that a lot on YouTube channels. Not so much mine because I don't really do those channels, but my brother-in-law, when he does fixing things and that, they do a lot of cookery stuff at the moment, which isn't really my thing. But when he does fixing videos, you know, and he does something, and then you get all these people that say, "Oh, I'm a plumber. You know, I've got grade this in plumbing. You should have done this," or "I'm an electrician." My brother-in-law was an electrician. Oh, according to the regulations, and you think, "Well, who asked you?" You know what I mean? Who asked you? Very, very annoying characters. Oh, I've got a certificate in this. I've got a certificate in that. I had one once at a pub I worked at years ago. I was doing these, and like, why have you put a red one in there? I said, well, because it looks good. Oh, well, I've done a course in lighting, and it shouldn't be putting a red. What? What do you mean done a course in lighting? I'm looking in my eyes. It looks good. Shut up. Oh dear. Luke says the world is computer expert on the internet. Oh, it is. And then there's those people, right? Like you suggest something, and kindly, don't get me wrong, kind people then go on the internet, like I might say, you know, why my daffodil bulbs all come up blind, which they have done. Right? And so anyone can help me with that, and immediately they type onto Google and they find it and they copy it and paste it and they send it to you. Well, don't you think I've already done that? Yeah, I want someone who is an actual expert in gardening and is out there doing it, not someone who's read it off a blooming book. Oh, look who he is. It's Gay Carl. How are you today, Gay Carl? He was straight Carl, then he was bi Carl, and now he's Gay Carl. All in the space of just a few weeks. Good evening to Red Kite there. Welcome along to the show there. Mick was a machinist making car parts. British Leyland. I know the jingle, Mick. Drive a supercar with British Leyland super deal. Da 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 with British Leyland. British Leyland. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Drive a British car with British Leyland super deal. Used to love that jingle, the British Leyland one. Vera, see if you can remember that for tomorrow morning. If you remember that, we can play that on the show. The British Leyland jingle. Hang on, where are we? Wednesday morning. British Leyland. British Leyland jingle. We'll do that tomorrow morning on the show. All right, love. And Vera reckons the people I can't stand are the ones who say they've had every single illness on the planet. Oh, those as well. Don't they like to tell you about it? Oh, God. They love to tell you their illnesses on here. Although I will say, a couple of years ago, and you will remember the person, we used to do a bingo show. This is 2 or 3 years ago now. And there was a lady on there, and every time she used to come on there and tell us about her visits. She's been to the doctors virtually every day, this, that, and the other. And suddenly she just stopped. She stopped, and she disappeared, and she died. You know, which was that shocks me. That shocks me. But there we are. People do like to come on and tell you all about their illnesses. You know, mental health. There's another one. Oh God, give it a rest. You know, I mean, I do wonder how many people sit at home crying on their own. Perhaps you're one of them. In the living room, maybe feeling a bit down. You cry on your own. You don't just suddenly go on Facebook and start going on about it, do you? You know, looking for a bit of attention. You just get on with it. Well, I do anyway. Oh, dear. I don't know. So he did British Leyland. Love that jingle. Maureen's been to the Ideal Home exhibition today. Anyone ever been there? Years ago I went there. She says, not so good now there. No goodie bags. Oh. I would have thought, you being Maureen, you would have got something like what they get at the Oscars. Don't they get these goodie bags? There's about 200 grand's worth of stuff in there. Oh, dear. That's just a goodie bag. Just shows you how much money they make, doesn't it, eh? Is there anything wrong with that? Well, I don't know. I just think there should be a limit to perhaps how much money. One goodie bag at the Oscars. Let's be really... Let's give it a really... Say that goodie bag is like £5,000 in there. I don't know how much is in their goodie bags. Let's just say £5,000. Just imagine how many people that could feed. £5,000 in a year. That'd feed a lot of people, wouldn't it, eh? In a year. Especially in like Africa country or somewhere like that, where people are extremely poor. They've got nothing. You sit there moaning you can't afford your bleeding Sky subscription. Or your Netflix. These people make me die, they really do. Oh, I'm so poor, they say as they light up another cigarette. £12 a packet. 1 packet a day. £80 a week. I've got no money. Opens another can of lager. Oh, pops down to McDonald's. Got no money. Go to Africa. Go to Africa. A little village there. That are people with no money. They have to go fishing to catch their bleeding dinner. And they don't get that half the time. Dirty water. They are poor people. Not people moaning that they can't afford the latest iPhone 14 or whatever it is now. Bloody joke. Well. Anyway, Maureen's been to the Ideal Home exhibition. First, she hasn't got a goodie bag. Only 3 samples they gave were hand sanitisers, packets of dog and cat food. Oh, did you get any of that? Can I have that, please, Maureen? My mate's got cats. If I could have the cat food, please, thank you. She said, I never saw any celebrities today as I was looking for Martin Lewis, the money guy. Or if you've got a thing for him, have you, Maureen? Have you? Oh, there's something we didn't know, Vera. Maureen's got a thing for Martin Lewis, the money guy. I don't know if he's married. It might be gay, Maureen. Not that that'd stop you, my love. Aye? Maureen loves the money man. Mr. Red Kite is agreeing with me 100%. Thank you, Mr. Carl. What do you do, by the way, Carl? Are you, I think you might be, are you student or are you working student? Evening to the lovely Alex Burrows, who's joining us live tonight from Birmingham. He's just finished recording a new music show up there for Mr. Lou Grade. Good evening to you, Alex. Welcome along to the show. Thanks for coming along to the Gary. Oh, bad news, Maureen. Gary Ross has done some researching. Martin Lewis, the money man, is married. I don't think I'd want to be married by for him. Like all the time, all about money all the time, don't they? Thank you, Mick. That's quite right. Her name was Yvonne. Lovely lady. Yeah, she wanted to win a mug, and she won a mug eventually, and it got to her And she made herself a cup of tea, took a picture of herself sitting there in her armchair, which do you want to see it? I've not taken this off, you see. Hang on a minute. Let's see if I can bring that up. I'm sorry, YouTubers, I can't show you pictures on there, unfortunately. It's just the YouTube people that will see that. I'm very happy to show you Yvonne, actually. She is still on the system. There are certain things that I don't take off my system. And Yvonne is one of those people. There she is. Bless her. And she has actually been gone now a few years, actually. Here we are. And you'll see her with her bingo mug. Hang on, here we go. And there we go. That's it. That's Yvonne there. So pleased. So pleased to have won that mug. She really was. And she won it fair and square. When we were doing the bingo, there was nothing I could do to make someone win or lose. It was completely random. Now and again, you'd get someone who would keep winning, but that's just the nature of the game, really. You know, that's just what happens. You go to a big bingo or one occasionally, that you'll see that happen there, where the same person keeps winning all the time. You think it's all fixed, and it's not. But she won it fair and square. And I knew she wanted to win this. And when she won it, I remember the video will be up there somewhere on my bingo playlist, which you can find that on my main YouTube page, youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. You can find a playlist there. There's a bingo playlist. I couldn't tell you what the date is that she won the mug. But she won it, and I was so pleased that she'd won it. And I sent it off the next day, and she got it. She made herself a cup of tea. I didn't ask for this, but she sent me a picture of her sitting there with this mug. And I looked at this picture, and I was so pleased. And then a couple of weeks later, she was gone. But I kind of think to myself, at least I made her a little bit happy for that time. Do you know what I mean? Just for that few seconds. It's very important to try and make people happy, really, I think. Red Kite is a zoologist. Graduated a few months ago. There we are. A zoologist. Wow. A single Pringle at the moment. And he's single as well. Are you telling me that by any chance, Carl? Because Jamie is convinced that you want to be my other half. I think Jamie is actually a little bit jealous because of that fact. Why not make him even more jealous? Once again, I've been trying to ring him this week. He don't answer the bleeding phone anymore, does he? I mean, the ABBA thing's coming around soon. When is it? June. Actually, it's not till June, is it? ABBA June. Oh, no, May. May is the ABBA show. So if he don't turn up, you'll have to come. Perhaps you'd like to get yourself a ticket and come with us, Carl. Would you like to come? Do you like ABBA? You'd come to that. Paul and Lou in the Central Television area, they never ever won anything. It's very sad, really. Every week, diligently, they turned up every single week. They played the bingo, never won a damn thing. Oh, well, unlucky bitches. Daniel remembers Yvonne. I do too. Oh, did we not have the sound then? Did you just get the picture? Sorry about that, yeah. I didn't say anything different. Yeah, you just got the picture then, didn't you? Sorry about that. I always forget I must add in the sound extra, something like that. Yeah. Oh, it's Ross Pat's out. Evening, Ross. Yeah, I have to add the sound individually to each scene, and I forgot to do that then. But you didn't miss anything. I think I said everything twice, like I normally do, to be honest. By the way, are you on the radio tomorrow, Ross? We missed you this morning, dear. We missed you. You do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, don't you? I think on that 10 o'clock slot there. Hope you'll be following to me there. All right. Where are we? Let me just scroll that there. Have we seen Mr. Remington? Is Chris going at 10? Yeah, I disappear at 10 on a Wednesday and at 11 on a Tuesday because we do the whole radio thing there. Dan Woodhouse went to the Ideal Home exhibition in 1986. Far too young to understand it. Yeah, I went once. I only went once to the Ideal Home Exhibition. And we did get a few little bits and people there. There you go, Red Kite. Me and Jay talk almost every day, and yes, I love ABBA. He don't answer the bloody phone to me. Could you tell him, please, Red Kite? Could you tell him if you don't mind? Why don't you come with us then? I'll tell you, if you want to get yourself a ticket, it's May the 14th, and you want the 6 p.m. show. I'm taking him for his birthday, you see. All right, because he got me a little present for my birthday. I thought, I've got to get something in return. So it's Sunday the 14th of May, 6 p.m. show. And you want a dance floor ticket, because we're not doing any of that sitting down, dear. God, we've got to keep moving with the groove. Got to try and lose the weight from the donut that I should be having in approximately 15 minutes' time. Thank you very much. Thank you. Ross is feeling a bit better now. He's on tomorrow and Saturday as well. Okay, so Ross Patzelt will be with you on Reach on Air tomorrow morning, just after the 10 o'clock news. After the 10 o'clock news. I'm going to try the gym again tomorrow. I think I'm going to try the gym again tomorrow. I managed to do the swimming, as I mentioned earlier, so I'm going to try the gym again tomorrow. And Red Kite loves the dancing. Well, are you going to get a ticket, Red Kite? How's your money situation? Can you afford to buy a ticket? I think they're about £85 now. They're dear, but I would say to you, they're worth every penny. Worth every penny. Hang on a minute, let me have a look for you. And then I'm going. ABBA Voyage tickets. Book tickets. One moment. Have you got the money to buy a ticket? Or what? May. What did I say? 16, was it? No, 14th of May. One moment, please. March, April, May. 14th of May. They got good availability at the moment. Dance floor ticket. Poor blimey, they've gone up again. £86 and 95 pence. Oh, do you know the first one I bought was something like 60-something? 60-something it was. Gosh. £86 they are now. I didn't pay that for mine and Jamie's. But they've gone up again. Maybe they get dearer as you get closer. Perhaps. Hang on, let's go further forward. Let's go to... Oh my God! December 2023 New Year's Eve performance. I bet they do Happy New Year. Oh, hang on a minute. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a 1 o'clock in the afternoon New Year's Eve. Ooh, I wonder if they do Happy New Year at that one. Whether they've recorded a Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Happy New Year. May we all... Let's just type in... Sunday in December. What do they charge for those? Sunday. There you go. Dance floor ticket. £77. So if you go further ahead, they're cheaper, but not by much, to be honest. Andy says they're pricey, but you can't outprice on a good memory. I mean, it really is very, very good. Very, very good. There you go. If you ever paid £75 for us back in February, you see. That's how it is. All right, boys and girls, time to go. Thanks ever so much for joining us on the show tonight. I think I'm with you next Wednesday. What's the date today? Yeah, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, I'm with you next Wednesday. The week after, I'm not sure because I should be going up to the Luxury Waterside Media Centre at the beginning of April, but there's no studio at the moment. My nephew has now fixed the wall. He's fixed the floor. There's 2 new windows going in tomorrow because 2 of the windows were blown. And he's got the desk in and he's got the chair in, but the equipment is literally all sitting on a settee covered in a duvet, and it's all got to be put back together again. Now, I'm hoping that my idea works, whereas I placed a little label on each piece of wire and each socket. So number 1 cable goes in number 1 socket, and so on and so forth. Now, my nephew tells me he's gone round there and taken all the labels off, but I don't believe him. So if that's the case, and I'm able to put everything back together again on Sunday afternoon, we should be okay. But we'll have to see about that. But that's not next week. That's the week after, all right? Okay, time to go, boys and girls. What are you doing tomorrow? I wonder if you would join me tomorrow morning at Reach on Air for my worldwide famous radio programme with billions of listeners all over the world, boys and girls. Reach on air tomorrow morning, just after the 9 o'clock news. It's an hour of music, chat and fun. And the music, just in case you're wondering, it's dance music, okay? It's generally dance music with a little bit of ABBA and a little bit of soul thrown in as well, all right? Not as much as I love you, Carl. Thanks for watching and listening. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night. Bye-bye now.